Your mother was really not an aggressive, typical, pushy stage mother, was she?
No, she was not, and thank you for getting it right. I've been very distressed over the years by the some 12 biographies that have been written, which, well, they just haven't had the facts, and they haven't portrayed her correctly, and I hope that I have.
Yes.
She was a superwoman. She was a wonderful mother.
Yes, and it's nice that you dedicated the book to her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if she were here, she'd appreciate that very much.
Well, she would know I would, too, because we were so close.
Yes.
And such a, as I said in the book, that my family bathed me in love.
Yes.
That was the way it was.
And I think it shows the way you've turned out.
Right. Well, thank you.
Yes.
She and I did not miss any opportunities, however, as you have noted.
Yes.
You know, if there was a door open, we'd go through it.
Sure. Sure. But she handled it very adeptly. She wouldn't let you get a big head about it, or
no. She put me down regularly.
Yes. Yes.
And I think the thing that was most interesting about her was that she was a very shy woman. She could do anything, including fixing electricity problems, you know, plugs and sockets, and plumbing, and sink problems, and stucco a house, and cook, and sew, and knit, you know, do all those things, and yet still be loving. But she was very shy, so that when she went into this professional world, when the two of us went into it, she with her hat on, which indicated professionalism, I guess.
Yes.
In those days, she and I kind of pioneered our way, and she always had that rather aloof quality with others, which made them think she was kind of aloof.
Yes.
Or austere.
Yes.
And inside she was shy and probably shaking, hitting the essence of peppermint bottle regularly for her stomach, which would churn, I think, at some of the things that happened.
Sure. So would she have to really force herself to, say, deal with Louis Mayer? These people are giants, and your mother has no real background. Louis Mayer was an imposing figure in his day.
Especially sitting up high on his chair behind his desk, which was up on a platform. You had to go up steps to get to it.
Yes.
But I think Zanuck was more of a challenged mother than anyone, because Winfield Sheehan was wonderful to work with. He had such wise ideas about not letting me eat in the commissary.
Yes. And
keeping me a child rather than a little adult. And Mother, I have all the contracts, all the original contracts, and at no time did she have any control of any of the artistic things that happened. None of the casts, none of the stories, no, not the directors. She had no control at all.
Yes.
And had to sign the contract to that effect. All she was in charge of was me.
Yes.
And my curls and my health and getting me to the studio on time.
And she did that pretty well.
Well, she was always late. I was on time, but she wasn't. And since we were together, I was always a little late, too. I would say, why don't you put out your clothes the night before so that you'll know what to put on?
Yes.
And I only said that a couple of times because she'd give me a very direct gaze and say, take care of yourself. So I'll take care of myself.
Sure, sure. I remember one time speaking to the late Henry Hathaway about you, and he said to me that at 7 or 8 years old, when you worked with him on Now and Forever, you were the most precocious child he'd ever met. You not only knew your lines, but you knew everyone else's.
Well, it was because of the way Mother taught me. As you read, you have read it.
Yes.
Yeah. She would read the whole script at the beginning, at bedtime.
Yes. And
then we would work on the scenes for the next day. But by reading the whole script, I would know the whole story, so that because they always shot out of sequence.
Yes.
Sometimes you'd start with the end of a film, And so you'd have to know what had gone on before.
Yes.
So I knew the whole script, and I did know everybody's lines. And after she read it through once, she would then read the other parts, and I would do my own.
I see.
And, we'd do it about 3 times a night. I mean, 3 times before bedtime.
Yes.
And then, not the whole script, but these scenes. And then if they would say, oh, we can't work outside today, it's raining, we'll have to do scene 42, I already would have known scene 42.
I see.
And for the older people, they worked scene by scene, and it wasn't as easy for them.
Sure. Sure,
So it
but
was a good method of teaching.
I should say. And
I'd know it in the morning. I wouldn't have to work on it at all.
yes, yes.